When I first started watching regular show as a kid, I thought Mordecai was whom the cartoon wanted me to love. Dude was super laid back, funny, self-aware enough to know when things are going wrong compared to his counterpart in Rigby. He was like the perfect balance of smarts and stupidity. But out of nowhere, this unsettling feelings just drops on you. As the show progresses and we learn more about Mordecai, especially his relationship with women and even his close friends, something just shifts. It's subtle at first, easy to miss, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. Mordecai stops growing, and the fandom has never really forgiven him for it. So let's actually talk about what happened. Early Mordecai is a homie. He's our best friend we see every day that we grow up with. He's flawed in fun, relatable ways. He procrastinates, he overthinks, struggles with self-esteem, but he comes across genuine. The story arc feels optimistic that he's going on his own journey that will bring him joy to his life. But you know the deal. In desperate times, people change. The Margaret arc is where the cracks first appear. It's not that Mordecai is smitten by Margaret. Happens to the best of us, plus it's a part of life. It's his attitudes, his lack of touch that begins to wither as he puts this person into the center of his life. Every episode, the same beat repeats. He almost tells her, something interrupts. He retreats. Reset. Eventually he gets with her, but how many episodes do we seeing him diminishing his best friend Rigby for someone not totally all the way in? The payoff doesn't land as hard as it should have. Honestly, he comes across as a loser, like that friend in the friendship group who blows off their friends as soon as they get a romantic partner and stops replying to the group chat. And then Margaret leaves for Chicago. His whole identity became his relationship. He cannot mentally process things even with his friends there for support. But alas, someone new comes into his life. Let's talk about CJ. CJ is genuinely one of the best things to happen to Mordecai's arc. She's funny, grounded, and calls him out in ways Margaret rarely did. For a while it works, and fans were into it. It's a solid redemption arc, and it shows his whole life doesn't resolve around the idea of ignorance and dependency. But then the prom episode happens. Mordecai dances with Margaret. CJ sees it, and what follows is one of the most frustrating sequences in the show. Not because it's unrealistic, but because it's predictable from the loser Mordecai becomes during his Margaret phase. Mordecai does nothing, says nothing useful, lets the situation spiral because confronting it directly would require him to admit something about himself he's not ready to face. CJ leaves. Now, CJ isn't a perfect character. She has flaws, but you cannot say she's afraid of showing her feelings. Mordecai hides behind this fear of being uncomfortable. He gives himself the chance to be better, but he doesn't take it. Instead, he falls back into his comfort zone where he's fine with that level of failure. The show is a kid's cartoon. But like my previous video, it has such a deeper meaning for teens and young adults, etc. It's multiple layered, like someone trying to save money on luggage for an economy flight. From one perspective, Mordecai is intentionally written as a realistic, frustrating portrait of a young guy who keeps self-sabotaging, that the decline is the point. In real life, we are actually flawed. Mordecai is no different to ourselves, to how we act in our friendship groups, how we hold ourselves back on the fear of not knowing what discomfort will be like. But let's contrast his story arc with his best friend, Rigby. Mordecai became less likable without becoming more interesting. But our boy Rigby ended up becoming the main character of the show. He shows the most growth from episode 1 to the end. Rigby gets his GED. Rigby and Eileen start dating. Rigby shows immaturity. But Rigby also does the uncomfortable thing and comes out better for it. Either way, regular show is one of the most rewatchable cartoons ever made. Mordecai is a big reason why, just maybe not in the way the show intended. He's interesting because he's unresolved. Because he holds up a mirror to a very specific kind of person, a person who means well, messes up all the time, and never quite becomes who they could be. I still love the show regardless. Thanks for listening, you slackers. Don't forget to like and subscribe.